Hi, everybody. My name is Cheryl Casone. I'm an anchor reporter for Fox News Channel and Fox Business Network here in New York, and I am lucky enough to cover real estate, which has been one of the most fascinating beats that any journalist could cover, I think, in the last 10 years, especially the last 2 years right here in New York City. We have a great panel, and we're going to get right to it. You don't want to hear from me. What do I need to say, frankly, about the cast of $1 Million Listing New York that they already don't even say about themselves? They're like, can we come up now? All right, 4 seasons that this show has been on the air. It is a blockbuster hit for Bravo. I'm obsessed with it. I know most of you guys, obviously, and gals watch it, are obsessed with it. Look, their lives are outrageous. Their business, more importantly, is outrageous. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is business, the business of real estate in New York City, and how do you become one of these 3 guys, because I know a lot of you would love to be one of them. Gosh, I want to be one of you after talking and meeting all of you. Anyway, they have taken the idea of marketing real estate to a whole new level, from the show to social media, books, acting careers, Hollywood blockbusters. Really? I hate them. I think I hate them. Anyway, we're going to ask them all of these questions today in this panel, so I want to welcome them up right now. First, Fredrik Eklund of Douglas Elliman. Come on up, Fredrik. Grab a seat. All right. Rated #1 broker, by the way, in all of New York City, take a bow, by The Real Deal last year. He's got the most listings on last year he did, clocking north of $500 million, and we want to hear about this year, Fredrik. You comfy? Are you comfortable?
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure you're comfortable.
Yes.
All right. Next up, let's bring in, the cameras aren't on. I just want you to know. It's just us. He did just break the chair. You really actually broke a chair. That's awesome. Let's bring up, we're gonna deal with our technical issues up here. Let's bring up Ryan Serhant of Nest Seekers. Ryan, come up. Ryan's not gonna want to take that broken chair. Ryan, of course, is another star of the show. We're going to call him Fredrik's nemesis, but they're actually sitting next to each other. I don't know what that's going to happen, but that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. I'm a little scared. Are you guys going to behave for the whole panel? I hope so. And finally, let's bring in Louis Ortiz of Douglas Elliman. Of course, you know Louis, one of our favorites. All right, guys, well, it is absolutely a pleasure. I am going to go ahead and I'm just going to stand because I have a lot of questions. And, you know, the tough journalist that I am, I think my first question, and this is going to go to all of you, Fredrik, we're going to start with you. Being on a hit television show on Bravo, does that translate to sales? Does it help you or hurt you when you're trying to get new clients? Do they want to be with the celebrity broker, or do they not want to be with the celebrity broker?
Well, I think, hi everyone, by the way. So good to be here. I think, for me personally, it was very scary to sign on to this show because, I don't know about the other 2, but I was a pretty big broker when I signed on. That was a joke. Okay. And, you know, Bravo is built on friction, people told me. And my team members and certainly competitors told me that my career would be over when the show would air. That is, certain things in real estate you don't want to show maybe. And even my family and my loved ones said, Fredrik, don't do it because, you know, you have to show everything about your personality, your life on this show. So I did sign on, and I believed in it from a business perspective. And right from the get-go when it aired, which was really scary, turning that television on that first night and realizing millions of people are going to watch me, and everything about me and my crazy personality and my eccentricities and high kicks and, you know, antics. But it has been amazing for business, to answer the question. I think every day people call in, want a list. People watch the show in 113, 115, 116 countries or something, 140. And we get a lot of international calls. And I think from the new development standpoint, which is something that I specialize in and do a lot of, it's just insane that kind of, you can't buy that kind of power to put buildings and developers and build us together over many seasons like I've done with a few developers. So it certainly helped. Do we lose clients because of the show? I'm sure we do. You know, maybe some people call in or don't call in and say, I don't want to be on television. But overall, with 30,000 agents in the city, I think, it's all about branding yourself, sticking out, being sure that you're the one that they think of the moment they're thinking maybe in the future of selling their house or home.
Well, and also, Luis, he brought up the issue of developers. A lot of the developers love the show. They want the connection to you and to the show.
I think what the show does is it personalizes who you are in your brand. And I think what we have done very good is that we've actually taken the step to talk to the producers and let them understand that we have a business. That regardless of the fact that they're trying to build a show that is entertaining for the audience, which we understand and we all agree to, there is a fine line that we have to make sure that we keep, because our business has to be protected, our clients have to be protected, and our reputation has to be protected. But when all of that is set, and we explain that to the developers, they want to be a part of it, because if it's now in 140 countries, they already see you as, oh, you're that developer, and then you show your work, and then you have a reputation of building this kind of work, and it gives you some leverage in the market. So it has helped. For example, Zach Vela has become a character pretty much on the show in season 1, season 2, season 3, and now people see him on the streets, see his projects. When they're going down the streets and they see a project of V-Equities, they already associated that with Zach. So that actually works.
Ryan, what about foreign buyers as well? I mean, that's obviously, as we've said, 140 countries the show airs in, and a lot of money, especially from China and Russia in particular, has flooded this city in the last couple of years. Have you benefited from that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all have. Whoa, this microphone's much louder than the others, no? That was on purpose. Listen, the show airs on airplanes. It's on people's phones. It's all over the world. I was in South Korea and people were saying, "You're the real estate guy." And that's that kind of, Fredrik said it, I can't afford that kind of publicity and that kind of advertising. And so a lot of people, if I think about a place like, let's say, South Korea, if I want to invest there, I don't know a real estate broker to call in South Korea or even how that works. So they see the show and they say, okay, I'm going to reach out to one of those guys. Let's see if they actually write back. And I think the three of us never stop working. So we write back right away, and we sell a lot that way.
Fred, let's talk about social media. I'm going to start with another topic because this is very important, I think, to everyone in the audience and to realtors really across the country, social media. You in particular, all three of you, but on the show, have really pushed the envelope when it comes to social media, and I think showed all of us how crucial it is. What's the best way that you can say to bring in business through social media? Tell us in the audience how you do it.
Well, I think social media is really important for all of us, and it's just in its beginning. I mean, we've been using it now maybe 8, 9 years, I have, but you can only imagine in 5, 10, 20, 30 years. And it's very difficult to keep up with because there's so many different platforms and there's just so much of it. I feel like I want to strangle myself with all these, Snapchat, for example. I haven't started a profile there. I don't even know what it is, but it's the newest, biggest thing. And every day I open a magazine, there's a new app platform. So it's very difficult. My secret is I love Instagram. I think a picture is everything if you want to sell something. I mean, Twitter, I know maybe you guys like Twitter. I don't, because you're not really selling real estate with Twitter. I think, to answer your question, I think it's the most important thing when it comes to social media, and that's my life in general, and I think this show has really shown that, hopefully. I don't want to split myself between being personal and being professional. And I write about that in my book, that in 2006, when Facebook started to become really big, and I was working at a real estate firm at the time, not Douglas Elliman, the management there told us, now you have to split your profiles. You have to be, Fredrik right now in a suit, and you're working for so-and-so, and the other profile would be like personal, because God forbid you are in a bar or tagged like kissing someone or traveling, or clients don't want to see that. And I stood up and I said, no, people do want to see that. Or I'm not going to split myself because I am personal, because I'm obsessed with my work and all I do is working. And I'm obviously really good at my work because I'm personal. So social media, to be successful, I think, nobody wants to follow someone just posting apartments. It doesn't matter how beautiful the apartments are. And I'm in fault too, because I post a little bit too many apartments and they always get less likes than my personal stuff. And then people make fun of me because I write these long texts, because I love to write and I'm very open about my life. And I show emotions. I think the combination of fancy apartments and being really personal and being really authentic to who you are, I think that's an interesting account to follow. And it's just a nicer way to live anyway. And that's, you know, the more followers you're going to get, obviously, the more real estate you're going to sell. So I just, my advice to everyone is just to like really, you know, showcase who you really are and mix and match professional, personal, half-naked photos of my husband, my dogs, fancy real estate, all of it together, one big, beautiful account.
Well, I was going to say, 2 of the 3 of you on the panel have managed to actually, we've watched it on television, actually have relationships or get married and gotten married and everything else. But, you know, Louise, too, social media can be a good way to, like, personalize yourself. That could be for anybody. That's true for what I do at Fox. We have an entire social media department that tells us be on there every single day, and it's exhausting. But for you, it's got to be a big piece of your business, not just your show.
I think if somebody that you know very well refers you or recommends you a restaurant, it's more enticing to you to go there because you trust that person. Now, when you have built yourself and you have personalized yourself to your following, and they feel like they know you, when you represent a specific property and you say that this is something that it's of value, it's something that will increase, it's something that people should get into, people trust that. And people talk to other people and allow them to the message to get out there. And that's why our product on Instagram or Twitter or whatever social media platform we use gets immediate results. So that is the power of social media today.
Ryan, have you found that it's been successful for you, or do you think it's a complete pain? I find it a complete pain. Like, every day I'm like, oh my God, I got to find something to post on Instagram today. I mean, you know, but it must help you.
Yeah, no, I read a book once. I read one book, and it was called The Fall of Advertising and the Rise of PR. And it was it was super influential for me in terms of how I think about marketing, and especially when you get into real estate, if you're a new agent and you see everyone, you know, they're spending thousands of dollars on mailers, on postcards, you know, they're taking ads out in the New York Times. It's like, I could never afford that. But people don't trust advertising anymore because it's being thrown in your face, but people trust PR. That's why editorials get things sold. That's why posting something on Instagram, we then get actual buyers from it. That's why people come to us and they say, hey, can we put into the exclusive agreement just to make sure that you do it, that my house gets its own Instagram post and not one where you split it up into other 4s, because that would make me feel bad. Because they see how many people see it, then it gets shared, and it's such an immediate way, and people believe it because it's seeing us personally. So I agree with both of these guys.
And if you see, we don't post for sale, 25% discount, and, you know, we give something personal about that product, and I think that's when.
By the way, I love your about giving like restaurant recommendations and I have a great florist and all that stuff, because it really builds, for any of us, I think it builds a relationship with people. And you're building personal relationships. That's what being a broker is. Some people, though, some in the industry don't like the show because they feel like, and there's been several quotes out there, I won't name their names, but they say, well, you know, for the young brokers coming in, they see the show and they see these guys and their fabulous lives, and they don't realize that it's a very hard business. And being a real estate broker in general in any city is a tough business. Do you think that they have a point? You're going to tell me no, but tell me why they don't have a point, I guess.
Well, I think it's very true. We make $500,000 in 35 minutes in a show, and it seems so easy, but it's not. When we get a real estate license, we pretty much we have the license to open a store, but we have no products, and we have no brand, and we have no clients. Then we get the product, we don't have customers, then we have to get the customers, and then those customers have to be repeat customers, then we have to get a credibility. So it takes time and years of doing the same thing over and over and pushing and become valuable and become experienced and understanding that it's much more than just being able to talk the talk, being able to, you know, to create value for the product that you're selling. So it's like any business, but in fact, I think it's even a harder business because you have to become auto-disciplined, self-motivated. You have to become a marketer. You have to, you know, wear 100,000 hats at once.
The ultimate multitasking.
Yes.
Ryan?
The show also doesn't. One thing I really liked about the show, and what the producers told us before I signed on anyway at the beginning, was that it wasn't just going to be like just deals, right? They do show us losing deals and those terrible moments. And I know you guys have each lost at least a couple things this season. I haven't yet, but it shows agents that it's not all fun and games, and how much we can put into things, and then it just doesn't pay off. So it's those are actually my favorite episodes, is watching these guys fail.
Oh, and the competitiveness starts on the panel.
Here we go.
But we watch it on TV. Fredrik, all right, let's talk about the book, because I was going to ask you what you would say to young brokers that actually want to get into the business, or those that maybe have only been in it a couple of years. It's a young business, we know that. But I'm going to go ahead and say that you would say this in your new book, The Secrets of Selling Anything to Anyone. And there's something about a high kick. Let's discuss that.
Do it.
Oh, well, no, I mean, the high kick for me, and I explained this in the book, yes, and maybe not everybody knows that because I do it so much on the television. It's very authentic to who I am. I've been doing it since I was very small, a really young boy, and I think what you're asking is, yes, I think everybody should have a trademark. I remember you and I had this discussion. Do you remember this? Like 3 years ago, right, when we first got to know each other, and I said, Luis, when you do a deal on the show, you should do like a Puerto Rican dance,
I normally dance.
No, but just something that is like authentic to who you are and that you be remembered for, because maybe that's a different way of answering the question. With 30,000 agents, like thousands of new every year, of course you have to be really good at what you do. You have to work harder than anyone else. But on top of that, how do you brand yourself if you can't get on a television show? Or, how do you be remembered? How do you hopefully get your trademark so when you enter a room, people remember, oh, that's that guy, oh, the high kick guy. So as long as it's not a gimmick and something you just make up or invent, it's actually authentic to you. There is this broker in New York. I'm sure you know who she is. She's amazing, but she has a dog, and she brings the dog everywhere. And she's even bringing the dog to the showings and to
Her business card picture
business
has
card
the dog
pictures,
in it.
and it's so cute, and it's a good example of what I'm trying to say. So the high kick is and regarding the book, I just want to say that it's been. You're laughing because when as a writer, you never know if you're even going to get published. You really don't. I didn't know anybody was going to publish the book, and then it's really rewarding that a lot of people are loving the book, and I became a New York Times bestseller. So. Thank you.
By the way, but you wrote a book, right?
I did not write a book. I
You
was,
did
in,
not write
I
a
was in
movie.
a movie.
Oh, the movie. Okay.
Some people write books, some people make movies. Life goes on.
Okay. I'm so sorry for you. Tell us about the movie. What the heck is going on? I didn't know about the movie.
It was not about real estate, actually.
You were having fun.
I was a hedge fund banker, and a movie by Noah Baumbach and produced by Scott Rudin and starring Ben Stiller and Naomi Watts and a bunch of other people. It was a great, great experience. I came to New York as an actor. I was on a soap for a while, and then they killed me, and I had to get a real job, so I got into real estate.
But he was actually playing himself. When they cast him, they wanted him to be himself.
I don't think that's true.
A little meaner
good.
version of himself.
This is good. All right, let's talk about, there was earlier panels about prices in the New York City market. We've all covered it. We all know it. We talk about it every day. Things have been insane. Really quick, though, guys. What are you seeing, especially in the ultra high level, $20, $50, $100 million ranges, which you've all been involved in? What are you guys seeing out in the market right now? Give us your take. Go ahead.
So wait, you're saying what trend we're seeing?
Yep, what's happening right now? Because it changes constantly in New York City real estate.
Well, I think the trend is exactly opposite from that, and I've been seeing that for a long time. And all the buildings that I've been creating for a while now, like 2.5 years back, we're going smaller or more efficient. So I'm not creating anything that's really large at this point, and that's going to change too, because I've been doing this for 13 years. So I've seen a few back and forths between the large and the small. But 3 years ago, we thought we were going to see a lack of inventory in the $1, $2, $3, and $4 million apartments, sort of the small ones. So we started creating that in buildings like 50 Clinton, Forsyth. I have a full city block coming in the East Village, which has only that. And I have something on 28th Street, which is very large too, with only that. And $1, $2, and $3 million efficient, beautiful finishes. So all power to the developers and to the brokers creating 30, 40, $50 million apartments. But me trying to stay relevant and being number one in volume, that's where the future is the next 2 or 3 years, I would say, in the new development arena.
Are you the one that's the 2,000 per square foot in the Lower East Side? Fredrik, is that?
2,100, yeah. We sold 2 penthouses at 2,900 a foot on the Lower East Side, on Clinton Street, so it's a record.
So Lower East Side, I mean, you're nodding your head. Lower East Side is about about to explode, it looks like, or is exploding.
$3,000 a foot for an apartment in the Lower East Side is actually, it's probably at least $500 per square foot more than the most expensive apartment sold, penthouse sold in the Lower East Side. So it's telling you something.
Ryan, what about you? What are you seeing?
The same. I mean, our projects that we have and our resales that we have that are in a competitive price point, where there are actually people who can afford them, who are out there looking for apartments, are the ones that move. And if you price competitively, they will move. I mean, I love the market right now. This year is the craziest year we've ever had so far, and I think we will end the year even crazier because the market's it's healthy. You know, sellers aren't as flighty as they were in the last 2 years, and so there are real buyers for real sellers, and that creates a transaction, and that's what we care about.
That's true.
You know, okay, here I go being Miss Fox Business just for 2 seconds, but real estate taxes in New York City in particular, and they're going higher. I mean, a lot of us have gotten hurt. I speak from personal experience. So what's happening I mean, that's got to hurt some of your potential buyers and sellers.
Well, there is the talks that there's probably going to increase the mansion tax to 2%. That may or may not be approved, but if it does, it improves the life quality in New York City, which is always great. I think New York City, and the stat says that New York City will be the number one in luxury real estate in 2025. Right now it's London. So we even we never even felt the recession. I mean, we did, but we came back up and we're stronger than we were before. And I think we have a very low number of new inventory compared to pre-crash today.
Yeah, Fredrik, you're seeing that as well, I'm assuming. The inventory. Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a little bit too much being built in certain pockets, and as a real estate agent, you know, you have to navigate yourself and your clients through that. I think the new normal moving forward will be it's going to take a year, sometimes 2 years to sell out these buildings. You know, I've been very lucky maybe selling out buildings in 3 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks. I don't think that's going to happen moving forward, but that's okay too. And I think I'm very heavy in real estate myself, and I believe in New York long term. So I'm not so, you know, you have to advise your clients long term always, because God knows the next couple of years in certain areas, certain price points, for sure, there's too much being built. I mean, every day I log on to The Real Deal, and there's a new...
Oh, we all do.
There's a new building. No, there's a new building every single day. I can't, and I think I'm pretty educated, I cannot keep up with all this inventory. But that's also amazing, to Ryan's point. I mean, it's healthy because buyers are buying, interest rates are somewhat low still, and you know, there's actually things to buy. Buyers have options. I do think maybe right now, we're talking about in the office today with my team, right today, maybe we're changing from a seller's market into a buyer's market, like right exactly this second. We'll see in the future, but you can see it's shifting, and that's, you want to be in this pivotal moment between sellers and buyer's market. That's exactly where you want to be, because that's when it's like, you know, you can transact. As a real estate broker, I never try to, you know, emotionally attach myself to the pricing or the taxes, or, you know, I want to transact and have buyers and sellers meet and create product in the future where I think there's a lack of.
So we don't have a lot of time left because time is money, but one quick question to all of you guys, and I want to open it up for questions because I know there's a lot of questions for you guys, but just really quick. I'm going to start with you first, Ryan. What's the most common question that you get when you're out and about? It can be from viewers, from clients. What's the most common question you get about yourself or your business?
Why are you so tall? By far the most common question I get. And then, you know, the standard, is that really real? Do you really hate him?
Yeah.
Is it real?
Do you?
Why do you think I separate you with this guy?
Is it real?
He's so sensitive.
Is it real? So what I see on TV every week, is it real?
Yeah, I wish it wasn't, and that's what I tell people. I wish it was scripted. One, it would be just a lot easier to do. Two, we'd be able to do the show in like 2 months instead of filming for an entire year to do a season. I mean, think about how busy everybody in this room is. I mean, tack on like the consistent and constant filming of the show, and it's a lot of work. Not that we're complaining, but it's, you know, it's a lot, and it takes a long time. And they film everything, the good and the bad. What I tell people really is that the time frame is different. So in the show, it's 44 minutes, and then an extra few minutes for commercials, whereas that could have been 4 months for us or 5 months.
Yeah.
So it can seem really, really, really tense when maybe it wasn't as tense, but it's all very real.
How do you do your hair?
Your hair?
That's one of the
People
questions I
ask
get.
about your hair? Oh, that's awesome.
Well, they ask me all the time. I use blow dryer and spray it.
How long does it take?
Well, it used to take me a long time. Now it's about 5 minutes. Now in and out. Or the night before, if I have a very early meeting. And the next thing is when am I going to find a girlfriend? I mean, people don't even care about it. They don't, like you used to say, people don't stop in and say, wow, that was a nice price per square foot you got last night. Yeah. They say, things like, when is your girl going to find a girlfriend? Do you and Ryan
What
get
did you
along?
do with the pig?
What did you do with the pig? That used to be a very popular question before, right?
I still get that, and I ate it.
Yeah.
Note to self, the audience, when this is over, don't ask about the pig. What about you? What do you mostly get?
Oh, no, I didn't say I hate it. I said I ate it. I ate the pig.
Okay.
That's what I tell people.
What happened to the pig?
It's
alive.
with my last driver, Joe, who lives in the Bronx, who has like a really nice field, and the pig is now like 250 pounds. Teacup pigs do not exist, that is for sure.
The most common question, I think, a little bit similar to Ryan. I think we all get that all the time, like, are you happy with yourself on television? And is this really like, I hear a lot of people that know me ask those people, is Fredrik really like that in real life? Because I'm so, I'm out there on television. But I think it is really real. And I mean, I get a little bit of a high when I film, and I think we all do in different ways. It's really fun, and it's really exciting, and to be able to showcase what you're really good at. So, and then of course, to Ryan's point, they edit it so it gets really elevated with music and everything. But I've never worn like a mask on that show. I've always, I got married, I've done a lot of crazy stuff and things that I regret, and I think we all do. But going back to what I said about social media, I think the only way to get through the screen and hopefully get some sort of, emotion and real attachment to us, between us and the audience, is to be really who you are. So, but then I think all of us, and this sometimes, not that I criticize the producers, but over the season, I told them, for my business specifically, 90% of what I do is new development, and it's very unglamorous and very boring. I sit in developers meeting all day long. I never really show apartments anymore. And for the format to evolve with us, and it has, like this coming season, I do a lot more of that, and I think it's really important for a format like this to evolve with the characters of the real people. So I'm exactly the person that you see on television, but then in the background, maybe, I think all three of us, it's a lot of work, and it's just tirelessly working to get to this place. It's easy maybe to criticize the show or maybe criticize us because it looks so easy, but it really isn't.
I always say that it's easy for somebody to sit in their bedroom in Iowa and criticize me for my hair or my outfit or whatever. Like, good luck, buddy. Whatever. You have to. I think for all of you, I think we've all learned, people that live on camera, that you have to just go. Doesn't matter. It doesn't get to you. And I think that that's a strength that I bet a lot of real estate brokers in general have, because it's such a challenging job that you have. I mean, there's ups, there's downs, you lose deals, etc. Well, anyway, I know that a lot of you have questions. We don't have a ton of time left, but I have a couple of microphones somewhere. If you have a question, raise your hand. Oh, there you are. Front row.
Hi, you're doing a great job.
Oh.
Yes, actually, you are.
Wonderful. Anyway, very quickly, because I know you're pressed for time, you're speaking obviously of development, particularly you were speaking of it, but I want everyone to answer if you could. On your position on development and preservation here in the city, on balance, I think development is exciting, progress is important, but so is preservation in some respects. If we change of everything about New York, then what does New York become, or should it become something different? If you could speak to that, and then some of the density issues that we're dealing with in the city right now, prior to so many of these developments going up, particularly the super towers. Thank you.
I think it's a super interesting question that I'm going to ask you over dinner with like 2 bottles of red wine, and then you and I mean,
We're going.
no, I think about it all the time. I mean, my perspective, I'll try to keep myself short because I know I talk a lot. I came from Sweden, where we don't have buildings taller than 3 stories. It's an old town, 2,000 years old, and I came to New York because I was obsessed, and I still am, with the energy of New York and Times Square and the neon and all the insanity of this town and the insanity of probably you developers out in the audience. Like, I love it, and it gets me aroused. So I try to at the same time detach
Yeah, he did
myself
say
from
that
this
word.
Wow.
discussion. Try to detach myself at the same time because once again, my one job is to make my clients wealthy. Really, if you think about it. So I have to go where the market is going. Do I subjectively, personally like conversions more than glassy new construction buildings? Yes. Would I rather live in one of those? Yes. But there's exceptions. And the density question, I think I already answered in a different way regarding what's the inventory too much.
That's population density. Population, increase in population is what I meant.
More questions? Raise your hand. Anybody?
I was gonna.
You guys, you can't be shy. There's like no way that's even possible. I see some hands back here. There's one there. Stand by over there. That's what we say in TV, stand by. Go ahead, sir.
You've developed such a great brand on television, and of course, you know, you all hail from different firms. Have you ever considered simply having your own firm, or do you feel that, you know, an element helps you in some way?
I think Douglas Element, I mean, I've been in many different brokerage over the course of my career, and it all has to do with how it relates to you. I think a good brokerage gives you a platform that it's invaluable. It's, you know, Douglas Element, I think it's the best company I have joined, and I'm very happy there. I think, you know, we have done an exclusive alliance with Knight Frank, where they have over 17,000 agents across the world, on Europe, and, you know, opening a brokerage is a big headache. I think we already have too much. And I think, you know, Nest Seekers has, you know, he's done a great job for Nest Seekers and the other way around. And I think, you know, Douglas Element, it's an amazing company.
So
Does
that's
that
a
answer
no.
your question?
Good to know.
Yeah.
Would you ever do your own, Ryan, would you branch out and do your own thing? Come on. It's just us.
You know,
Like 400 of us.
we talked about this a long time ago, and I think, you know, you do a significant amount of work with developers. I do some, and it would be very unfair, I think, at this point to bring developers who have so much risk associated with the sellout, right, with the end product, so many investors, so many loans, and say, hey, I'm going to do this on my own because I have my own big brand and I have this TV show. I think that's very, very short-sighted. I think a firm like Element and, you know, Nest Seekers, I mean, there's 600 agents or something like that, and offices all over the country that enable us to be able to sell and have a platform to go to the table with, to be able to support not just sellers, but to be able to support the investors and the banks behind a lot of the deals that we do. Because there's so much work that goes into, I mean, doing everything that we do, that I think that yes, I'm opening my own company today.
That's good. Okay, back here. I think we've got one. Yeah, sir. Here we go.
I wanted to know what your thoughts
Oh,
are.
here. Take that
You wanna try
microphone.
it?
There you go.
Thank you. I got a big mouth usually. All right. Wanted to know what the thought is of the you know, the possible phase out of the tax abatements, and if you've, you know, heard a little bit more about it, what your thoughts are, impacts on your investors, et cetera.
They phase out and they phase in. I mean, life goes on. You know, people have to pay taxes.
Right.
For the most part. And pricing will adjust accordingly, right, depending. It's really my feeling on it.
I have a question going back to the show. Ryan, you mentioned that Louis and Fredrik, they have lost already in this season, right? I was wondering how your deals go with the Russian guy and his girls.
People ask me about that a lot. You have to watch tomorrow, 10 p.m. on Bravo.
Amen.
Watch it live and you will find out. I think you will be surprised, as was I.
I love it.
That's good. Let's
Never judge a book by its
see.
cover. That's what I
Yeah,
learned.
I think there's a couple. Yep, there she is. You've been very patient, and you're raising that hand so high that I have to go to you. What's your question?
You. Hey, my name is Yeni. I would like to know which advice would you have for us? Because we're newbies, we're just starting in this business. And it's one thing to watch the show, and it's a whole other thing to go out there and barely, you know, being very nervous and excited. I really want to know what you have for us.
I think I've seen that a lot of new agents are coming into the business because of money. They see it as an easy way out. They see it as a way to not go to 4 years of college. They see it as a way to start making money quickly. which is not the case. But this business has a lot of opportunities, and I think one of the things that I would advise is to not focus on money specifically. Focus on everything that you have to do in order to build yourself credible and valuable to the customers that you work with, and money will happen to come with. I think when you focus on money, it'll completely blur your ultimate goal, and you won't be creative, you won't think on the behalf of the people that you have to think about.
One of my favorite quotes is a saxophonist, and he said, because he had a lot of ups and downs in his career and a lot of terrible things, but he was incredibly successful, and he said, take care of the music, and the music will take care of you. And that is how I've lived my entire life, which is basically what you just said, that if you just do the work, if you wake up every single day excited because you are the greatest real estate broker in the history of the world and you are going to kill it today, and then you pass out that night, then you wake up and you do it again the next day, you will make money. If you focus on the money and you focus on that one check, this, that, the other, you might as well do something else. But yeah, take care of the music and the music will take care of you.
I love that. Wake up and I'm the best TV anchor ever. I'm totally using that tomorrow. I got one more up here in the front, and then that's going to be our last question, guys, because that's our last question. All right. Go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Nestle. I'm the creator of Girl on the Bike and Girl on Real Estate. And from my real estate business point of view, where do you guys see the technology from landlords, developers, your buyers, and also brokers? Like how much we are open to technology? Because it's a very traditional business, real estate. What's your opinion? Thank you.
Technology. Yeah, I mean, it's changed everything, really. When I started, this was 13 years ago, the listings were coming in via the fax. I mean, literally, there was no listing systems. And New York Times, there was those little ads. Remember, I used to sit and highlight, and this was way before any of the systems that we use today were around. And I think I was the first real estate agent in the city that had it was called the Blueberry back then. Before the Blackberry, it was the Blackberry. We called it the Blueberry. It would just come from London, from the finance world there. And my clients was like, they didn't understand how I could answer them in real time. And that's just now, of course, I can't keep up myself with all the technology and the apps, and I'm trying, and I'm learning from my younger team members what's really hot and where it's all going. I think, maybe it's a boring answer, the only way to really, you can't think that you control it all. You just have to like really try to put the time into technology and try to change. And I think that's the shift we've seen in the real estate agents. I mean, there's more people here than just doing residential, but if you look at what we do, the residential real estate, and the top 50 people that were big then, 10, 15 years ago, they're not around, or they're not as big anymore, and they can't keep up with the volume that we are doing, and that's because I think a lot of the technology. So you have to be sort of liquid with the technology, and then be really humble that it is changing, and if I was still sticking with the facts, obviously I wouldn't be able to do what I do today, so yeah.
The stars of $1 Million Listing New York, give them a round of applause, please. Thanks, guys.
Can I say one thing?
Sure, yeah.
No, before we're done, this is something that I want to say that we never actually give credit to. We, the three of us, and I speak from the three of us, we are extremely humbled and grateful for your support. And it is an honor for us to be able to inspire some of you to come into this crazy industry of ours, because in the end, you guys inspire us as much as we inspire you. And I think that we are all together are changing this industry towards the better. And I want to say that to you from us. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.